Donald Trump's fixer-turned-enemy will face more direct examination at his criminal hush money trial today. Well, Trump's former personal lawyer, Michael Cohen, returns to the stand as the prosecution's star witness. He delivered testimony yesterday that linked his former celebrity client to all aspects of a hush money scheme that prosecutors say was aimed at stifling stories that threatened Trump's 2016 campaign. And for more on what we're expecting today, let's bring in CTV News political analyst Eric Ham. We appreciate your time. Thanks as always. So talk about a little bit what we heard from Mr. Cohen so far and how that his testimony is, how it's being responded to.
Well, we heard from Michael Cohen yesterday, and we got that link that was so crucial to tie Donald Trump to the actual falsification of the business records. Now, the biggest question going forward is, will the jurors actually believe Michael Cohen when he said that he took the document that Alan Weisselberg listed the actual payments? They went to Donald Trump's office on the 26th floor, and they discussed it directly with Donald Trump. Now, what's interesting in that conversation is Michael Cohen says that he believes that Donald Trump and Alan Weisselberg already had this conversation before he got there. And so the plan was to actually have Michael Cohen leave the company and become Donald Trump's personal attorney at the White House, where he would then continue to make those payments of $35,000. So the linkage is there, as well as the checks that Donald Trump signed, 9 checks totaling $35,000. And again, the question is, will the jury actually believes it? And also, more importantly, will this story stand up when, of course, we know the defense actually crosses Michael Cohen on that information?
And you have to assume that the defense is going to take straight aim at Michael Cohen's credibility.
Oh, absolutely. In fact, we have been seeing and knowing from the beginning of this trial that they were going after Michael Cohen's credibility. We know that right now he's testifying about his testimony before Congress on these issues, but we have heard so much information from many of the other witnesses about Michael Cohen and his bullish behavior, and that he not only was Donald Trump's fixer, but he was someone who was seen as a bit of a problem in the Trump world. But what we have seen on the stand was someone who was very calm, who was very collected and very measured in his testimony. And that perhaps could go a long way with actually solving a lot of those credibility issues with the jury. But it's also important to note, while many expected fireworks between Michael Cohen and Donald Trump while Michael Cohen was on the stand, we've seen both men actually measured in their responses to each other while Michael Cohen is actually testifying.
And even just hearing from Trump outside of the courthouse, this is a man who's quite defiant in his defense and is not mincing words about how he feels that this is essentially a political witch hunt.
Not only that, but also what we're seeing is we're seeing more and more support coming on behalf of Donald Trump. Yesterday, we saw at least 2 senators, Senator J.D. Vance from Ohio and Senator Tuberville from Alabama. Today, you've got Vivek Ramaswamy, who we know ran for president and is hoping to be a VP pick for Donald Trump, as well as Florida Congressman Byron Donalds. So we're now beginning to see this swell of MAGA lawmakers show their support by showing up in that courtroom for Donald Trump to buttress a lot of the support. Because remember, early on, Donald Trump was not seen with much support. We know Melania has not been there. And in fact, only his children, only Eric has actually showed up in the courtroom sporadically, while his other children have not been there at all.
Well, that's CTV News political analyst Eric Ham. We appreciate your time. Thanks for joining us.